Hello again, listeners. I'm Mike Hayes with a quick question. Is it reasonable to believe you can navigate the rising tide of the waves of AI changing almost every single day and not just survive, but thrive all by yourself? If your answer is no, welcome. You're in the right place. This is AI Podcast Listening, where we explore the new practice of AI reasonology success stories. Let's start sharpening your reasoning edge, learning to ask AI better questions that make AI your thinking partner. Every day I ask AI, is it reasonable, given where I am, what I value, and what I'm trying to achieve? What is the most reasonable path forward? I don't ask AI to replace my judgment. I ask it to sharpen my reasoning. So here's how easily we can start today. In the next 2 minutes, my voices of reason, my AI co-hosts, will explain to you today's topic. Then you decide, is it reasonable for you to stay tuned to learn from today's episode of AIPodcastListening.com and learning to learn AI. Let's start sharpening your reasoning edge with AI media medicine for the masses.
Okay, let's explore a new way to understand AI. It's all about finding clarity, not fear. So think about AI differently. It's not just tech. It's a massive global event happening right now.
And this event, you can't see it, but it's everywhere. Reshaping, well, everything.
But something's missing, right? There's no announcer, no one making sense of the game.
That's the big idea from author Mike Hayes, an observer who can explain AI from the outside.
And his perspective isn't from a coder. Nope. It's from a career spent watching human events unfold. The playbook is simple. Watch what's happening, translate the complicated stuff, and then explain it.
See, the whole mission isn't to hype the tech. It's to help us all learn how to learn AI.
This brings us to a new concept called AI reasonology. Basically, reasoning with AI as a partner.
The goal here is to add to our intelligence, not replace it, to help us find some clarity.
It breaks down AI really simply, using stories and metaphors that just about anyone can get.
You know, with all the hype and fear out there, this approach is all about calm, clear reason.
The tone is steady and simple. It's always human first, so you don't get overwhelmed.
So, forget the tech for a sec. The real focus is on people and what this all means for them.
Because really, this isn't just a tech revolution. It's an emotional one, too.
So, where is this all headed? The vision is moving from fear to, well, radical abundance. It's all about shifting from just reacting to actually reasoning with these powerful new tools.
It's a way to turn all that confusion into something clear and productive.
Okay, let's go back to that sports idea. If AI is the new Olympics, guess what? We're all players.
And the goal isn't domination, it's collaboration, a true partnership.
Humans and AI on the same team. The prize? A shared victory for a better, wiser world. This completely reframes the story, and it invites all of us to think about our role in it.
Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're here again to really dig into complex topics and pull out the things you actually need to know, the stuff you can use. And today, wow, we're tackling a subject that's just everywhere. It really defines this moment we're living in. Artificial intelligence.
Right. It's unavoidable.
Totally. But here's the twist. We're not coming at this from the usual angle, the code, the algorithms. We're looking at it through the lens of reporting on it. Like, how do you even cover what might be the biggest, strangest, most nonstop global event in history?
That's a great way to put it. Biggest and strangest, yeah.
Our source material today gives us this really unique perspective. It comes from Mike Hayes. He's a longtime broadcaster, creator of something called AI reasonology.
And that background is key, isn't it? He's not a coder, not a tech exec. He's an observer.
Exactly. He spent his career, places like NBC, watching huge, fast-moving events, Olympics, politics, you name it. And his whole job was turning that chaos, really, into something people could understand, clarity.
Bringing reason to the roar, as he puts it.
That's the phrase. And that's our mission for this deep dive, to kind of internalize that broadcaster's way of thinking. We want to stop seeing AI as this, scary black box or just something for tech geniuses.
Yeah, move past the hype and the fear.
Right. And start seeing it like a reporter would, focusing on getting clear, calm knowledge that we can actually use? Like today.
Okay, so the first thing, the absolute foundation from the source material is how it completely reframes AI itself. Hayes makes this really bold claim. We're not just watching AI happen, we are living inside it. He calls it a continuous 204/7 global event named artificial intelligence. And getting that distinction, that's step one to cutting through the confusion.
An event, okay.
Yeah.
How is that different from, say, the internet becoming a thing? That felt pretty global and continuous.
It did, but Hayes argues it's fundamentally different. Let's unpack that because it's important. Think about the internet. That was massive, yeah, but you could kind of see it happening. Laying cables, building server farms, physical stuff.
Right, infrastructure, you could point to it.
Exactly. AI, well, it runs mostly on infrastructure that's already there, like the cloud.
Yeah.
Its own infrastructure is more cognitive, software-based. It's much less visible.
Okay, so less physical build out. What about something like television? That changed everything too. Shared culture, schedules.
Right. TV gave us structure, appointment viewing.
Yeah.
You knew the news was at 6. You knew the big game started at 8. AI doesn't have a start time or an end time.
Uh-huh.
And the best comparison he makes, one that really highlights the difference, is the Olympic Games.
Ah, okay. The ultimate global event.
Totally. Huge, complex, everyone involved. But crucially, the Olympics have a schedule. They have specific places where they happen. And importantly, they have a closing ceremony.
Right. You know when it's over. There's a beginning, middle, end. You can process it.
Precisely. That structure gives us a narrative, a sense of control. AI doesn't offer that. And that leads to the paradox, Hayes points out. AI is invisible yet omnipresent. It's everywhere, but you can't pin it down.
And that's maybe why it feels so unsettling for so many people. This constant unseen change.
I think that's exactly it. It's reshaping everything: finance, medicine, art, relationships, our jobs, our dreams, all at once. But because there's no single stadium to watch, no specific AI channel to tune into, no end date in sight, there's just this widespread underlying confusion, maybe even anxiety.
Yeah, a kind of low-level hum of what is going on.
Right. And if you don't know where the event is, where do you even look for reliable information?
You look at the headlines, probably, the scary ones,
Yeah.
the job losses, the existential risks.
Exactly. The loudest voices, the noise, the vacuum created by the lack of a calm central narrative gets filled instantly with hype, speculation, and frankly, fear.
So this unique nature everywhere but nowhere specific is why we need that clear voice, that observer perspective.
That's the argument. If AI is changing finance and healthcare and education all at the same time, someone needs to provide a steady, understandable explanation. Without it, you just get noise. And that need for clarity, that's what led Hayes to develop Reasonology in the first place. It's designed specifically to cut through that noise.
Okay, so the audience isn't just watching, they're in the event, maybe feeling overwhelmed by it, which makes this broadcaster's code idea even more critical. Let's dive into that. You mentioned Hayes' background at NBC in New York. Decades watching. Well, high-pressure human drama unfold, right?
Yeah.
Politics, sports.
Intense environments, yeah. High velocity, high stakes.
And he took one core lesson away from all that, which he's now applying to AI. What was that lesson again?
The main job, the real job of a good broadcaster isn't to shout louder than everyone else. It's to bring reason to the roar. Don't add to the noise. Make sense of it.
Bring reason to the roar.
Yeah.
That sounds almost counterintuitive in today's media landscape. The instinct is often to amplify, right? Get clicks, get attention.
It absolutely is. Chasing the sensational, heightening the drama, that's often the default. Hayes' code is the opposite. It says expertise should be used to calm things down, to counteract that natural urge to panic or hype things up when faced with something big and new.
Separating the signal from the noise, that takes discipline.
A lot of discipline. And the analogy he uses to illustrate this, the sportscaster one, is really insightful. He thinks they have one of the toughest translation jobs out there.
Okay, explain that. Why a sportscaster? What's so tough about their job in this context?
Well, think about it. You're at a game. Tens of thousands of people just saw the exact same play live in real time.
Yep, you saw the touchdown, the foul, whatever. Your reaction is instant. Cheers, groans.
Pure emotion, right? Raw reaction. The sportscaster's job isn't just to say he scored. Everyone saw that. Their job is to explain why it mattered, to add the context, the strategy, the implications for the game, the season, stuff the crowd just watching, wouldn't necessarily grasp on its own.
Ah, okay, so they're translating the action into meaning, adding that deeper layer of understanding.
Precisely. And that's the kind of rigor, that translational skill that Hayes is trying to apply to AI. He's deliberately positioning himself on the outside like the broadcaster in the booth, looking at this huge technological and, importantly, psychological shift.
Psychological, right?
And explaining it to the rest of us, the inside world living through it, often feeling overwhelmed.
Okay, but let me push back on that a little. A sportscaster covers a game. Games have rules, defined winners and losers, finite stakes usually. AI, like you said, is this continuous, unbounded thing. And for some people, the stakes feel genuinely existential, losing their job, their identity. Can that reason to the roar voice sound, I don't know, a bit detached and naive to someone who feels directly threatened?
That's a really fair and important question. The source doesn't suggest ignoring the fear or the real risks. That would be naive. Instead, the goal shifts. If the observer just lists all the scary possibilities, they are just adding to the roar, like you said. So the mission isn't just to report the fear, but to provide a framework for navigating it. How do you deal with this uncertainty? And that brings us back to those translational goals. Turn the complexity into clarity. Help shift that raw emotional reaction towards actual understanding, and try to turn that pervasive confusion into some sense of calm. It's about offering a roadmap, maybe, helping people see the next few steps, even if the current situation feels chaotic or threatening.
And this ties into a specific game you mentioned earlier, which feels crucial for tackling that fear issue. The goal isn't just objective reporting, it's to help people see AI differently. Not as an enemy.
Right, not as this hostile invader coming to take things away.
But as a potential teammate, a partner.
Exactly. And the ultimate goal isn't just to talk about the tech, to hype it up or tear it down. It's to help us, humanity, learn how to learn AI.
Why the emphasis on learning how to learn AI versus just learning AI?
Good question. Because AI is changing so fast, right? This is central to dealing with a 24/7 event. If you spend a ton of time and effort learning the specific commands for, say, one particular AI model today, well, in 6 months, that model might be updated or something new might come along. The specifics can become obsolete incredibly quickly.
So you're learning something perishable.
You got it. But if you learn the underlying principles of partnership, how to ask good questions, how to structure your thinking with AI, how to use it as a tool to organize your ideas, that's different. That framework, that skill of how to partner, that transcends the specific tool you're using at any given moment.
Okay, so reasonology isn't teaching you the specific apps buttons. It's teaching you the mindset, the methodology for constantly adapting.
Yes. It's like the difference between memorizing one route on a map that keeps changing versus learning how to actually navigate using a compass and understanding the terrain. One is temporary, the other is a last-is skill.
Providing the steady hand in the storm.
That's a good way to put it. The broadcaster's code provides that steady hand, that way of processing constant change without burning out or getting overwhelmed by fear. And reframing AI as this coach, this teammate, that starts to dismantle the biggest barrier for most people, that paralyzing fear of being replaced.
Which leads us perfectly into the how, the methodology itself, AI reasonology. The source argues pretty forcefully that understanding this stuff isn't just for the tech elites anymore. It's becoming essential for, well, everyone.
Absolutely. If this AI event is touching every industry, every conversation, like we said, then knowing how to engage with it isn't a niche skill anymore. It's becoming fundamental.
Like basic computer literacy was maybe 20 or 30 years ago.
Exactly like that. A foundational skill for just functioning in the modern world. But, and this is a huge but in the source material, how we teach it is critical. You can't just throw tech specs and jargon at people. Hayes insists it has to be explained as a human story, with empathy, with context. He uses the words heart, humility, and hope.
A human story.
Yeah. Without grounding it in human experience, the tech itself is just intimidating, alienating. It doesn't stick, especially for people who aren't already deep in the field.
Okay, so that brings us to the definition. What exactly is AI reasonology, according to Hayes?
The definition he gives is very specific. The study and practice of reasoning with AI as a partner in thought.
Okay, let's break that down. Study and practice, so it's active, ongoing. Reasoning with AI, the focus is on the human thinking process. And partner in thought, that highlights the relationship.
Precisely. It's framing it as a behavioral skill, almost, applied to this new technology. The human is still central.
And how is it taught? What's the vibe, the methodology?
The tone is crucial. It has to be calm, conversational, steady, simple. No showing off with complex terms. It's all about clear explanation, drawing on those classic communication skills like the anchors or sportscasters who could explain huge, complex events without causing panic.
And this leads to a core principle you mentioned, the clarity standard, explaining it at an 8th grade level.
Yes, an eighth grade level.
Okay, I got to pause there. 8th grade. We're talking about arguably the most complex tech humanity has ever created. Doesn't that risk sounding simplistic or even condescending?
It's a valid concern, and it sounds counterintuitive, but the argument is that it's actually the highest standard for clarity and accessibility. Think about it. If you can explain the core idea of AI partnerships so clearly that a smart, curious 13 or 14-year-old someone without specialized training can genuinely get it,
then you've successfully stripped away all the jargon and complexity that locks most adults out.
Exactly. You've gotten to the essence. Hayes argues it's a sign of true understanding. If you can explain AI like biology explains life cycles or sociology explains social structures as observable, understandable systems, then you've mastered it. If you can't explain it simply, the suggestion is maybe your own understanding is still tangled up in the technical weeds.
So the 8th grade level isn't about dumbing it down. It's about achieving profound clarity. It's the floor for accessibility, not the ceiling for intelligence.
That's a perfect way to put it. Mastery means simplicity.
Okay, let's put it to the test. How would reasonology explain something complex like a large language model, LLM, at that level, using a metaphor?
Great example. Okay, instead of talking about neural networks, parameters, transformer models, forget all that for this explanation. Reasonology might frame an LLM as like the ultimate librarian or maybe a super research assistant. Imagine someone who's read everything, every book, every article, every website in every language. And they haven't just read it, they remember it all perfectly and understand how all the ideas connect. Millions and millions of documents cross-referenced in their head.
Wow, okay.
So when you ask this librarian a question, they don't just hand you one book. They instantly synthesize the relevant information from maybe thousands or millions of sources and give you a clear, structured answer tailored precisely to what you asked for.
So the LLM is the synthesizer, the organizer of existing knowledge.
Yes. And your job, the human's job, isn't to compete with its vast memory. Your job is to ask the smart question. The creative question, the question that needs that synthesis. The librarian can't ask the question for you.
That makes sense. It shifts the focus to the human as the director of the inquiry.
Right. And that simple human-centric framing immediately leads to that critical realization we talked about. AI is about augmenting you, not replacing you. When people start thinking like this, using this framework, that existential dread starts to fade. They see the AI not as a rival, but as this incredibly powerful tool for boosting their own abilities.
And this leads to the idea of AI as a coach.
Exactly. It really does function like a top-tier coach, or maybe an incredibly patient tutor. It helps you organize your thoughts. It can weirdly help calm the emotional noise around a task. It turns that feeling of I'm overwhelmed into, okay, here are the steps.
Let's dig into that coaching idea more. What specifically does the AI coach do that helps the human play better instead of just taking over the game?
Well, what does a great human coach do? They don't run the race for you. They watch you. They offer structured feedback. They spot patterns you miss. They break down complex strategies into manageable chunks.
Okay. Structure, feedback, pattern recognition.
AI can do analogous things for your thinking. It's like this tireless, non-judgmental organizational partner. Let's say you have a messy, half-baked idea for a project. Instead of asking the AI, write this for me, which is replacement thinking.
Right.
The reasonology approach, the partnership approach, is to ask, okay, AI, here's my messy idea. Help me structure this into 3 clear points. What evidence do I need? Where are the gaps in my thinking?
So it takes on the organizational heavy lifting, the analytical spade work.
Exactly. It handles the drudgery, freeing up your human brain cycles for the creative part, the strategic part, the human part.
That shift from me versus the machine to me with my coach feels really significant.
It is. And if the AI's main role in this partnership is helping us organize thoughts and manage the emotional side, that tells us something really important about the real challenge of this AI era.
Which connects back to the broadcaster bringing reason to the roar. This isn't just about the technology itself.
No, this is where Hayes argues it gets really deep. He says AI isn't just a technical revolution happening out there in labs. It's also, maybe even more profoundly, an emotional revolution happening inside us.
An emotional revolution. Explain that.
It's about how we, as humans, learn to cope with this level of rapid, accelerating change, how we process constant uncertainty, how we handle the sheer scale of possibility, both good and bad, when the old rules seem to be dissolving.
So the fear people feel is real, it's understandable, it's not just irrational technophobia.
Absolutely real. It comes from genuine uncertainty about jobs, about identity, about what the future looks like when machines can do things we thought only humans could do.
And a better algorithm can't fix that fear?
Exactly. A coder can optimize the tech, but optimizing tech doesn't automatically soothe deep-seated anxiety about your place in the world. That requires something else. It requires a narrative, a story, one that's clear, empathetic, and offers a way forward.
And this leads to a pretty striking conclusion in the source material. The future of AI understanding, making it accessible and manageable for everyone, depends more on storytellers than on coders.
That's the claim. The coders build the engines, yes, but the storytellers, the translators, the explainers, the people who understand human psychology and how to frame complex ideas, they're the ones who need to draw the map and provide the reassurance for this journey.
Because they handle the emotional context.
Yeah.
They provide the heart, humility, and hope needed for people to actually engage with this powerful new partner without being paralyzed by fear.
Precisely. Reasonology itself is positioned as the framework for telling that new, more hopeful, more empowering story about our relationship with AI.
Okay, so we have the philosophy of reasonology, we have the method, the broadcaster's code, bringing reason to the roar. Where does this all lead? What's the end goal?
The ultimate destination, the vision Hayes paints, is something he calls radical abundance.
Radical abundance.
Yeah.
Sounds ambitious.
It is. But it's not just vague optimism. It's a specific vision that he argues is achievable if and only if we apply AI wisely as a partner. The idea is a future where things like human creativity, economic prosperity, maybe even peace, actually expand because of AI rather than contracting.
So the pie gets bigger, essentially.
Dramatically bigger. The premise is if we use AI effectively to scale up human ingenuity affecting education, medicine, science, art, entrepreneurship, we unlock potentials we can barely imagine now. Entirely new fields, new solutions to old problems.
That's definitely a counter-narrative to the common revelation. Robots are taking all the jobs fear, the zero-sum thinking.
It's a direct response to that. It suggests that through partnership, we generate more opportunities than we lose, although the types of opportunities will undoubtedly change.
Well, there's a catch, right? This abundance isn't guaranteed just because the tech exists.
Absolutely not. The source is crystal clear on this. There's a non-negotiable prerequisite. People have to deal with the fear first. We have to consciously shift our own internal operating system. We need to start using AI as a tool for reasoning, not just reacting.
Reasoning versus reacting. Okay, define those in this context.
Reacting is that impulsive, emotional, maybe fear-driven response. Lashing out at the tech, panicking about job losses, retreating into denial or overwhelm, short-sighted. Reasoning, in the reasonology sense, is calm, strategic, and uses the AI partner deliberately. It's about using the coach to organize your thoughts, to analyze the situation, to plan ahead, even when things feel uncertain.
And the whole point of AI reasonology is to help individuals and hopefully society make that shift from reactive fear to reasoned partnership.
That's the engine. Reasonology is designed to drive that shift, and it works through 3 specific transformations he talks about.
Okay, let's break those down. Transformation number 1.
Turning emotional energy into productive creativity.
Okay, so taking that fear or anxiety.
Or even excitement. Any strong emotion is energy. If it's just swirling around inside you, it leads to worry, stress, maybe anger. It's wasted. Or worse, destructive. Reasonology teaches you to grab that energy and channel it. So if you're feeling anxious about a complex project,
Instead of just stressing.
right, you immediately engage your AI partner. Okay, AI coach, I'm feeling overwhelmed by X. Help me break this down. What are the first 3 concrete steps I can take? You turn the anxious energy into structured action.
That makes practical sense.
Yeah.
Taking the feeling and immediately applying it to a task, using the AI to help structure that application. Okay, transformation 2.
This one links directly back to the broadcaster's code, channeling confusion into clarity.
Getting through the fog.
Exactly. It's the practical outcome of that 8th grade level explanation standard. When you hit a wall of technical jargon or a problem seems impossibly complex, the reasonology approach provides that simple, accessible way of understanding it. It helps you see the path forward, find the core issue, without getting bogged down in details that aren't essential for your understanding or action right now.
Okay, emotional energy to creativity, confusion to clarity. What's the 3rd transformation?
This one's about the bigger picture, the social aspect, and it feels incredibly relevant right now, helping the world move from online rage to online reason.
Wow. Okay, that's a huge goal. How does AI partnership help with online rage? AI is often blamed for fueling it.
It often is, yeah.
Yeah.
Algorithms optimizing for engagement, which often means outrage. But reasonology flips the script. It suggests that if you consciously use AI as a reasoning partner before you react online, it can act like a buffer, a deliberate pause.
How would that work? Like you see some crazy inflammatory post.
Exactly. Your gut reaction is anger. You want to fire back immediately.
Yeah, happens all the time.
Instead of hitting reply instantly, you turn to your AI coach. You could prompt it. Okay, this message made me angry. Analyze the actual arguments here, ignore the inflammatory language, help me draft a response that is calm, sticks to the facts, and focuses on finding common ground or solution, not just winning the argument or venting.
Huh. Using the AI to filter your own emotional reaction and structure a more reasoned reply.
Precisely. It's using the machine not just to generate stuff, but to help manage the human response. To maintain your own cognitive calm and control when everything online is trying to provoke you.
That could genuinely change the tone of online discourse if people adopted it. Moving from knee-jerk reactions to thoughtful engagement.
That's the hope. It's about building a digital environment based more on collaboration and understanding, less on conflict and division. A massive undertaking, but that's the aim.
Okay, so turning emotion into creativity, confusion into clarity, and rage into reason. That's the work. How is this actually getting out there? What are the platforms Hayes is using to deliver this?
It's a few things working together. First, there's a platform focused specifically on AI podcast listening.
Listening to AI podcasts.
While listening selectively, the idea is kind of meta. They actively curate and listen to what they call the emerging voices of reason within the machine. Basically, in the flood of AI news and commentary, they identify and amplify the explainers, the guides, the thinkers who are also taking this calm, reasoned, partnership-focused approach.
So filtering the noise for the audience.
Yeah.
Helping people find the signal.
Exactly. It's about conscious information consumption, guiding people towards the voices that help them navigate calmly rather than the ones stooping panic or hype.
Makes sense. And the second part, the educational resources.
Right. Those are delivered through platforms called the Great Discovery Network and the free AI Super Campus. And crucially, these aren't tech manuals. They're collections of guided stories, structured courses, interviews, all focused on teaching the how-to of AI partnership, using that reasonology framework.
And the goal isn't just abstract understanding, right? It's practical outcomes.
Very practical. The content is explicitly designed to help you improve tangible things in your life. Your creativity using AI as that brainstorming partner, that organizer. Your sense of community fostering more reasoned conversations. And importantly, your financial independence.
How does it help with financial independence?
By teaching you how to leverage AI as a tool for productivity, for maybe starting a side hustle or small business, for finding new efficiencies, giving people tools to adapt economically.
So the overall goal is helping people feel more empowered, more capable in this changing world. To catch the wave, as the source puts it.
Exactly. Finding balance, finding purpose, finding that sense of abundance, even amidst massive technological shifts. It's really a bottom-up strategy. If enough individuals feel equipped, calm, and purposeful because they've learned how to partner with AI, then the collective societal fear starts to subside. That makes the path to that bigger vision, that radical abundance for everyone, seem much more possible.
It really comes full circle, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Back to that initial idea. This isn't about selling tech. It's about teaching humanity how to learn, how to feel, how to cope with, well, maybe the biggest thing we've ever encountered.
Yeah. And just to kind of wrap up the core philosophy here, Hayes explicitly defines his role using the terms of his own career. He's very clear. He's not positioning himself as a tech guru, not predicting the exact future. He sees himself as a storyteller for this new era. A broadcaster.
Reporting on humanity's greatest event.
As it unfolds, his job, as he sees it, is just to explain it, simply, sanely, with that commitment to reason, helping us all get our bearings.
And that brings us back one last time to that brilliant central metaphor, the Olympics.
Right.
If AI represents this new Olympics of human potential, this huge dynamic display of capability, competition, collaboration.
And then he's a sportscaster in the booth.
Yeah. Providing the play-by-play.
Yeah.
Highlighting the human stories, the struggles, the breakthroughs, the adaptations, and crucially, helping the audience, us, understand the stakes, what we're really watching and living through.
It's not just about watching the machines get smarter. It's about understanding the impact on us, on society, and having the language to process that impact without freaking out.
And the goal of these AI Olympics isn't necessarily winning in the traditional sense.
No, the ultimate victory condition, according to the source, is collaboration, genuine partnership. Not human intelligence dominating AI or AI dominating us. It's about human and artificial intelligence playing on the same team, working together towards a shared victory.
Which is?
A better world, a wiser world, a calmer world, that state of radical abundance. It implies that the real measure of our success in this age of AI won't just be processing power or model size. It'll be the quality of the partnership we build. Wisdom, calm, collaboration, those become the key metrics.
That's a powerful reframing. Okay, this has been a really deep dive into this broadcaster's approach to understanding AI. Let's quickly recap the absolute core ideas you should take away from this. First, maybe the biggest shift. Try to reframe AI in your own mind. It's not just another piece of tech. See it as this ongoing, invisible, 24/7 global event. That changes how you need to approach it continuously, rationally, not just reacting to headlines.
Right. It requires ongoing observation, not just occasional panic.
Second, embrace that 8th grade level clarity standard for yourself and others. If you're explaining AI partnership or trying to understand it, strip away the jargon. Focus on augmentation, how it helps you, not replacement. Use simple analogies. If a smart kid could get it, you're on the right track.
Simplicity is clarity.
And finally, remember the why. The whole point of AI reasonology, this whole approach, is to guide us away from fear and towards that potential for radical abundance. And that journey starts inside each of us by consciously choosing reasoning over reaction, calm over confusion, online reason over online rage.
That internal shift is everything, which leads perfectly into a final thought for you to maybe chew on after this. If Hayes is right, if the biggest challenge of the AI era is actually emotional, if the solution involves adopting that calm, reasoned broadcaster's voice internally, then what's the single most effective thing you can do today? What's the one prompt maybe you could give yourself or even your AI partner to consciously shift your own internal processing, to move yourself even just one step away from that instinctive online rage and back towards online reason?
That's the play-by-play we need to figure out for ourselves, isn't it? A question worth pondering. Thanks for joining us for the deep dive. We'll talk to you next time.
So, listeners, did today's AI reasonology success story help sharpen your reasoning edge? If you're ready to stop navigating AI alone, here's what's reasonable to do next. Share this with anyone who needs any help. And subscribe to AIPodcastListening.com for daily episodes where we learn to learn AI together with our Voices of Reason AI co-hosts. And visit AIReasonology.com to dive deeper. Access tools, frameworks, and a community of reasonable people asking better questions of AI with AI. Remember, the question isn't whether AI will change the world, it's whether you'll navigate that change reasonably or alone. See you tomorrow with another AI Reasonology success story. I'm Mike Hayes.